It's very simple. The aluminum particles are artificial dust particles that allow the moisture in the atmosphere to artificially turn into precipitation. That's it. If you comprehend that, which is exactly how it works, now they'll use silver iodide and they'll use other soft metals as well. It's simple. I wish persons would stop being so dumb.
Right.
They are smart enough to comprehend this because it's not complicated. It's right in front of you. And if you don't know this, you're dumb and ignorant. And stop being dumb and ignorant, because I have been dumb and ignorant in the past too. And I don't need to be that way because the information is out there.
We got a caller waiting, Chris, and they've been waiting very
patiently.
patiently.
My apologies. My apologies.
I've been running my mouth too. Caller, you're on the air. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, well, I'm just calling to say thank God that that I had the time to sit in my car and listen all this long time. What happened going on?
No, you didn't.
I'm dumb and ignorant too, but in a way I'm not, because because some of the stuff y'all talked about, I have thought about it.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s, I used to work at a particular place, and this dude, where we used to be smoking, where we used to be smoking reefer, this white dude used to be telling us about this weird stuff, man, and we thought he was crazy, but now it's coming in light. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But back to what you said about the cloud, have you heard anything about the hologram, about what's supposed to come? Because this guy was telling me too, sit back and say they're gonna do some stuff to reflect some stuff in the clouds to predict that Jesus is coming, but it's gonna be false. So a lot of people gonna think that it is him.
Oh wow!
Project
Yeah, on that one.
This is nice.
I knew exactly what you told me.
And it's, I forgot that the guy told me a lot, and say what you were saying about Googling it up. He had gave me the site and all of that to go and Google it up. This is to come, because you said they're so intelligent and smart. And while you was talking about the rain or the clouds, about they deceived the clouds for a long time, it said, it's all about handling the people, or getting the people to do and think what they want them to think.
Right, programming. I said, yeah, it's programming. That's what they're doing.
It is programming, and But anyway, I just want to call and touch base and say that it's real deep, and people need to wake up. And I thank God that I sit here and hear this. Now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do with it.
No, just make sure you listen to us next Tuesday, especially. And I'm gonna let Chris comment on the hologram. But I'm gonna say this: that's why y'all need to be listening to this show, because if you listen to this show, I've been told y'all Jesus is. I'm a preacher now. I've been told y'all Jesus is not coming back in a rapture on a physical cloud.
Yeah.
And I've been told y'all that if you read the Bible, for those who believe the Bible, first of all, the first thing Jesus said is, watch for them that say, lo, here is Christ, or there is Christ. So if you're looking for Christ from a physical standpoint, you already miss Christ. Christ, the Bible is a spiritual book. And if you look at it with everything based upon physicality or outward property, you're gonna miss the spirituality behind Christ. The coming of Christ that Jesus was talking about is actually talking about him coming within individuals. That's why he says thy kingdom come in earth. Because the earth is really us. He wasn't worried about the coming so that there could be a great war and all this stuff, because he said my kingdom is not of this world. And that's what people miss. But once again, you just told me something now, brother. See, that's why I love it. Now I can go and research the hologram, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, sir. Helping each other. You just helped me. Now I'm going to research that lie so I can come back on the radio and expose that.
Yeah, so Glenn Sutphin was just telling me, that I think he was picking up that this the man that was just on the line was referencing Project Bluebeam, maybe specifically, and Project Bluebeam is. It's NASA, it's Defense Department, which NASA has always been a part of the Defense Department and has always been associated with and working with the cosmonaut program, always been working with weaponizing space.
Alphabet Games.
Right, and so So when we talk about, these things, I urge people to check out the movie called Mirage Men, where they were operating drones that individuals who were watching the base were convinced was alien vehicles, but basically it was just this secret stuff that we see flying above us right now. But back in the mid '80s, it looked like something not of this world, and all these reflections and what's the word I'm looking for? Like projections.
Yeah,
like
right.
like they can project something into the air or onto the back of a screen. You'll see lights, and they could be coming from a laser, and it might appear as if it's some sort of flying vehicle,
Yeah.
but
Where they
it's
getting all
not.
these ETs and
It's
all these
popping up
different.
everywhere,
You're talking
yeah,
about
right.
right.
It's popping up everywhere.
And that's the word, the blue beam thing, because he was telling me, remember when they did a thing, they did a hologram with, I think it was Michael Jackson and Tupac.
Right,
And
yeah.
it was on television. And it looked real, you know what I'm saying? So he was saying that there's a lot of secret things that the government
Right.
is doing that we don't know anything about. And for those who waiting for Jesus to come in the cloud, the people of today already know that.
Yeah,
You know, there's how many people here.
They about to play us again. They get ready to play us again.
They'll do it. They'll do it. They will.
Oh, no
They
crying.
gonna be screaming and crying. I missed them.
Yeah, but they that have the Spirit of God, will know that that's safe. You know what I'm saying?
But you're gonna find out within. If that's the case, you're gonna find out how many don't have the Spirit of God.
Well,
Because if that's the case, because again, I'm of the opinion. Matter of fact, I know this because this is my field. Almost every preacher I've ever heard in the city of Richmond and abroad all believes that the coming of Jesus, the rapture, is an actual. They're waiting on the rapture. That's what preachers believe. There's no such thing as a rapture in the Bible. The Bible doesn't preach a rapture. And when Jesus talks about coming, yet again, we've made it external. We've made it physical. And it has nothing to do with those things. But once again, brother, we got to go, man. I'm gonna tell you, I pray that you can listen on Tuesday because you've helped me. So thank you so much.
All right, Pastor, y'all.
All right.
thank you.
Man, look, we gotta go. Preston, you had a question. So please ask your question.
The last issue of the day, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Okay, during my platform for 2011 and the election now, I talked about the extra fees on Virginia Power light bill
Oh,
that
yeah.
are actually expenses that they occur and is passed on to the consumer. Everybody that read my poverty reduction plan says it's a great plan, but I had one delegate tell me that I'm on thin ice because messing with Virginia Power, I'm going after the big boys and I need to be careful. So what's your views on that?
Well, you hit the nail on the head with the fees and how Dominion Power operates. They will start a project that they haven't even gotten approval for, then get approval for raising the rates to cover the expenditure that they never got approval for. They control the government. Tim Kaine used to fly around in a private jet owned by Dominion Power. The last three, I think, chief of staff, there's always some sort of liaison between Virginia Power, whether it's Bill Murray for the Democrats, and I don't know, it's probably somebody similar for whenever there's a Republican governor. They are telling the delegates how to operate. And also, when you bring up Dominion Power, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things that they're raising the rates for is to pay for the expenditures that they've already spent for a third reactor at North Anna Nuclear Power Plant. So the North Anna Nuclear Power Plant is on an earthquake fault line, and it is leaking radioactive tritium as a result of an earthquake. They knew it was an earthquake fault line when Dominion Power built that. It was only a matter of time, and now it's in the groundwater. And it's at 3 times the EPA standards for safety, and there is not much information, but this has been verified with the NRC and FEMA And I mean, Channel 6 News, that was one of the last things Angela Pellerano ever did, was when we outed Dominion Power for putting radioactive tritium into the groundwater as a result of their negligence by having a nuclear power plant on a active fault line that was damaged by an earthquake, and then spending unmarked and unapproved money to build a third reactor. Now, what I'm saying here is that seems about as insane as it comes, and that is really as crazy as it comes, and these are the people that are setting the rules
right now.
and that they are putting the people in great danger. In danger like this could wipe out the entire region. Like another earthquake, and nuclear power, they can't do anything with it after it's done. You can't get rid of the nuclear power. It's around for thousands of years. And just during the regular fission process, it puts xenon and radon into the atmosphere. People wonder why there's such an epidemic of cancer. And they don't have to wonder very long, because radiation is in the groundwater. They're spraying aluminum and other radioactive toxins and soft metals from the sky. You know, they put all food product in plastic bottles. You know, in plastic containers that seep in. And what I'm saying is, these people are caught. They are criminal. They are putting everybody at risk. Under the law, they should be put in front of firing squads because they're committing treason. And that means, under the Constitution, read Article 3, Section 3, and try to tell me what that means. And all you phonies out there who are saying I'm like threatening people, I'm saying we need to enforce the law. And these people are definitely committing treason. Man, this is dangerous.
It's amazing how angry people are with you for saying stuff that's going to save them. Oh, but when I listen to you today, and I'm serious about this, I'm going to close because we'll never stop if I don't stop. So I'm going to say this today. First of all, Chris, thank you for coming on the show. Once again, y'all have proven that you hate the one who brings you the real information. And it's nothing Chris Dorsey has said today that makes me walk away. And I'm not a phony. So you know what? I need to say what I'm really going to say behind your back. There's nothing that makes me believe for 1 minute that you are some idiot, some lunatic, some crazed man who is just going off on a limb. I don't believe that. From the information you're giving me today, to those who are listening to this man, you have learned more probably today than you have in probably years
in life.
And listen, and probably in life, most of you, just from hearing the conversation I have had with Mr. Chris Dorsey today. What does that tell you? And I'm gonna close with this. You go to church every Sunday. You don't learn any of this. But this has to do with God. It has everything to do with it. The truth will set you free.
That's right.
Listen to me. You cut on your news. You don't hear any of this. Okay? Even the choices you make with the internet, you're far from even anything that would put you on the right road to these answers. At what point are you going to ask yourself, Preston Brown, I heard him come on, he came on my show years ago talking about they're raising your power bill and they're doing it right in front of you. They got mad with him.
Yeah.
He's trying to help you. You already scrambling. We ain't got no money as it is. We heard
They're raise it again.
and they're going to raise it again.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I'm not mistaken, there was talks about kickbacks and stuff that was under deals that were cut, side deals that were cut, even with Dwight Jones then, from what I remember.
Of course.
And let me tell you something. They hate us. I'm going to say this before I go, because I know it's going on video. To all of you preachers, and I mean, this is me talking, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You all need to be put under the jail. Instead of putting me in the gotcha paper, you need to get in there. Absolutely. They locked me up, you need to be locked up. And I need to say, you're a disgrace. You politicians that fight. I mean, really? Do you have any conscience? Do you have any shame? Do you have any how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep? I'm a firm believer. I said this when I first started pastoring. They told me I was crazy for saying this. Before I play with God and play with the people of God and manipulate and take their money and play games, I will go and get, and listen, I know y'all think this crazy, I will go and get me a brick. You know what a brick is? That's street terminology. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm going to get me some cocaine or heroin, and I'm going to chop it up, cut it, and sell it. I would rather be all the way out there and feed poison to the people that way than to use God and use sincere people, these demographics that they go after, these older women in many cases who really want to make sure they're serving God before they die, as a target to implement these evil agenda and plans. I'm saying this to you all out there. Talk about me all you want, but I tried. I don't never know when I'm gonna be dead or gone or locked up, because when they finally decide I've said too much or somebody's actually hearing me, they'll do what they want if the Lord tarries. And guess what? You all will just keep on living, and they'll keep on making a complete fool out of you. Mm-hmm. Preston Brown tried to tell you. He could have cut a backroom deal. There are plenty of people who would be glad to cut a deal with him. He tried to tell you. You chose Mr. Marsh. You chose, and you know what? And he slept the whole time. Mm. And you know what? Nobody have nothing to say. Yeah, somewhere sleep drunk, whatever. But I'm telling you this, allegedly. Please, I don't want any lawsuit.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Virginia ABC is very proper place for him.
And so I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen that are listening to us, it's time to step up. You can't get mad at Mr. Dorsey. Nothing I heard today can I be angry. As a matter of fact, I salute and I thank you for sharing a wealth of information today, sir. Thank you for sharing with my audience. Thank you for coming. Preston Brown, thank you again. I can't thank you enough because...
And no radio station in this city got the heart to do what we did today.
No. There is no radio station that's gonna... What do you think, Chris? I mean, you go everywhere. You've been around.
Well, it's rare that I get the opportunity to talk this much. The Iranian TV.
You could have left
mainstream media, Chris.
No, nobody will tell you the truth. It's against their best interest to tell you the truth.
Because they're in with the end. They're in the machine.
It's money. Money talks. And the rest walks.
You know what they do? They come in the station, they badmouth the station, they talk about how it look, they talk about all that, and then they come back here. If they ever want to know what's going to happen next, they know they better cut on.
They can never address what we're talking about, though. They can never address the facts that we're saying.
Right. They gotta talk about,
you're crazy.
They gotta talk about me being fat and your hair's long.
My hair.
And then we don't. And that's what they talk about.
My slacks.
Your pistol.
Your pistol. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Caller, you're there. Real quick. You got 20 seconds.
Okay. This is what I want to say. I want to say. Am I on the air?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to say this to you, that yes, you are telling the truth. You're keeping it real. And you know, it needs to be a shock to the churches, because they have actually lured our people to sleep. We are asleep. I'm so tired of shouting, singing, and running around. I don't know what to do.
That's it. They're screaming and shouting. And they're being entertained, and they're rocking them to sleep. You said it does. I don't need to come behind that.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Mother. We going now, Chris.
Thank you.
Tuesday?
Tuesday. I mean, it'll be awesome.
We're just going to talk. That's it.
We'll do the same thing.
They still calling.
Now they call it.
You got 20 seconds for real, caller. Caller, you on the air. Hello, caller.
You missed that
one. That's just in the middle.
That was 20 seconds right there. So we're getting ready to go, but I want to thank you again, Preston, and thank everybody. Well, I want to everybody here that works along with this station, Brother Brad, and you know, I've had a rough time. I'm so glad I adjusted to this family, because when I first got here, I had to fight with them too. But everybody's all right now, so I'm glad about it. And go ahead, caller.
Shalom, Pastor Rob.
Peace.
Shalom to the 12 tribes worldwide. Oh, that brother Doherty is his name, Chris Doherty.
Uh-huh.
I want to call and tell you
how much I thoroughly enjoyed your program. I hope I didn't think, I know y'all pushing on time, but, you know, it's great to see that you're still out there, Pastor, and still hanging on that beach.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man, and you already know what it is. You know where we stand with it. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time to call. It means a whole lot. Hopefully, we'll be back on next Tuesday, so if you're available, check us out.
Yeah, I was listening through my phone, so I couldn't, you know, call and listen at the same time, so I had to wait close to the end of the broadcast before I make my call. But I just, you know, I give all praise and great glory to y'all for you, Pastor, because, you know, if it wasn't for the Spirit of the Creator in you, we wouldn't have a pastor out here doing the things you're doing. Because none of these pig-meat popes and pimps out here attempting to go against the machine.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, Richmond need to consider themselves lucky as you stand set apart, and I'm going to say set apart, you know, and putting an end, or trying to put an end to this madness, because that's what it is. It's true madness, and we the people need to stand up against it. Like
I appreciate that, sir.
We have the power.
Yes, sir.
We have the ordained power given to us by the Creator.
That's right.
And I will be personally honest with you. In order to get that international monetary system down, they need to be thrown up in their face. They've stolen the identity of the true children of Israel, and the true children of Israel need to stand up and take back their identity. And that's the only way we're going to put an end to this usury, is to give the hands back to the true children of the book.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I have to say.
I hear you loud and clear, Trucker. Shout out to Trucker, everybody out there worldwide. Hold it down, brother.
We trying out back.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. Matter of fact, don't hold it down. Let's get up. No more holding it down. Hey, we got, y'all done did it again. Got me 20 extra minutes in here. There they go.
They always do that.
You got to ask the keys in the room.
Caller, you on the air.